So, in case you guys didn't know, 4K is here and it's here to stay. And I'm not just talking about cameras. Obviously, those can shoot even more than 4K resolutions, but I'm talking also about affordable 4K streaming, 4K monitors, and even live 4K broadcasting. And speaking of 4K, what I've got here today to show you guys is actually the world's first and only 4K wireless video system. The unit I've got here today is the Bolt 4K from Teradek, and this is the 1500 series, and I also have the directional panel antenna. Now this transmitter and the receiver is actually rated at 1500 feet. That's the distance you're gonna get an open line of sight. Now, because more and more productions these days are actually being delivered in 4K, I think it's a good idea to look into a system like this, which is gonna allow you to set up a proper video village so that your client or director can actually look at the image or the closest that is gonna get to the final image. This is also gonna be helpful to first ACs, and especially because it is zero delay. So it means that they can nail that focus and those crucial focus marks. Now, in case you're wondering, is this limited to just 4K? Obviously not. Let's say if you don't have any wireless video system, but you're just kind of getting started and you're looking into getting something, I think you might as well get something, again, that's future-proof. Because like I said, when you're ready to switch to 4K, you'll be able to do that. But even if right now all you're working in is HD or other resolutions in between that, you can still use this system. And in HD, it's actually going to give you even clearer, image quality, better colors, all that stuff, simply because you have a bigger bandwidth that the system can transmit. Teradek actually designed a brand new chipset for the Bolt 4K that is going to make it a lot more reliable when it comes to handling signal interference, which at the end of the day, again, it just simply means that it can transmit a signal that's more detailed and with a lot more accurate colors. Now, in case you guys are wondering sort of the limitations of this, again, it's even better, like I said, than the previous Teradek systems. It's multicast capable, so it means that you can actually use one transmitter and transmit the video signal to 6 receivers. Not only that, but you can actually mix and match the different transmitters and receivers. So, like I said, the system that I have up here is the 1500, but you can, let's say you have the 750 transmitter. Again, you can use that and mix and match it with one of the 1500 receivers or vice versa. Teradek also designed a really cool and helpful app. Right now it's only for iOS, but I've been told they're working on a version that's supposed to come out soon for Android. But anyways, the app lets you do things like, for example, obviously change all the settings with both the transmitters and the receivers. You can use it to pair both of them together. Or you can even apply, for example, 3D LUTs to the output, which is very helpful because I don't know about you guys, but I know me these days, I'm pretty much always shooting in some kind of a log format. And let's say you have your client or director, again, monitoring whatever you're working on. And maybe they have a monitor that's not capable of displaying 3D LUTs. Again, you can do that within the wireless video system. Inside the app, you can also use the spectrum analyzer, which is going to help you monitor the signal interference. So this way you can pick the frequencies that are best in the certain area that you're working in to, again, make sure they have the best quality signal. I've had a chance to use this over the last month, this whole kit here that you guys are seeing. And actually, I got the whole kit, which comes with the case, all the cables and, power cables, video signals, all that stuff. I have 2 receivers. Again, the system that I got is the 1500. So I've got 2 identical receivers, 1 transmitter, and then I also have this, the array antenna. And I'll kind of talk about the difference in when maybe you might want to use one or the other in a minute, but maybe first let me actually show you the long-range outdoor test that I did, which I usually do with all of my wireless systems before I start using it on any professional job. All right, so now for the long range, I'm gonna just walk back up there, and first is gonna be open line of sight, and then afterwards I'll go behind some buildings. I've got the receiver up here, powered by a V-mount battery, and via an HDMI cable, it's connected to my monitor. I'm also recording everything that I see up here on my GoPro, so you guys can see in real time what I'm seeing. The camera I'm using is the Blackmagic Pocket 6K camera, and I'm also sending out the signal via HDMI
to the transmitter over there, and let's see how it goes. So I'm about 100 feet away right now, 100 feet away, and the signal looks really good. There's no difference whatsoever. So I'm 300 feet away. I can barely see myself here in the shot. So yeah, 300 feet away. Here I am. I'm gonna wave with my leg. And anyways, I'm gonna keep on walking because it's still looking perfect. Okay, so here I am 400 feet away and I'm still getting a signal. And looks like it's perfectly basically clean signal, no difference still. So I'll keep walking away even further. And I'm 500 feet away. 500 feet away. This is still how it looks. And we got a whole bunch of dogs barking now, so don't mind the background noise. Now I'm going behind the buildings, so behind one house, and still getting good signal here. And I'm at 700 feet. Oh, lost the signal. Yep, trying to see if that helps. Nope, I lost the signal. Looks like it's not coming back, so okay, so I'm gonna turn back. So now I'm gonna do the same test but using the direction antenna. So actually the panel array antenna helps by focusing the direction of the signal. So now I'm 200 feet, no problem, the signal looks good. And I'm gonna go a bit further here. And now I'm at 300 feet. 300 feet, still getting perfect signal. And now I'm at 500 feet away. 500 feet away. I don't know if you guys can see me because I can barely see myself here on the screen, but yeah, perfect signal. So I'm gonna go further. And I'm at 700 feet behind the building, still getting a signal, and looks perfect. Oh, but yeah, it's kind of cutting in and out. And I believe I've lost the signal, so no signal.
Now, to be honest, I actually ran out of space in the area that I was at because I just simply didn't have enough open space to really test out the open line of sight. But again, you probably, or I'm guessing most people are probably never going to push these systems to the max in open line of sight because you're usually filming with, you know, with something interfering or some buildings or walls or something like that. So if you're wondering whether it's actually possible to get the advertised 1500 feet of distance using the standard antennas or the array antenna, then yes, you can, but again, it's only in ideal conditions where there's, you know, perfect open line of sight. But in real world, where you're always going to be shooting behind some kind of walls or things like that, and also we're going to be shooting in areas where there's going to be interference, right? Other networks, other signals, basically, that might be interfering, causing interference or causing certain, basically, problems in the frequency that you're working in. Now, I'll tell you for practical reasons, this system, like with just the standard antenna, is, I think, for me, I mean, plenty enough of range. What I mean by that is, like, if you're shooting a film, whether it's narrative or, you know, TV work or stuff like that, or maybe a live event, and you have a small venue, or again, you're on a film set, it's going to be plenty of power. So I don't think you have to worry about it with that. When would you want to use the array antenna? Well, the antenna is, first of all, it's very directional. It's not like this, like these, you know, antennas maybe not as long range, but they're going to pick up basically the signal from all directions. This receiver antenna is very directional, meaning you have to point it at the actual transmitter. I think this antenna is a great thing, but maybe more for broadcast. Like maybe you're in a big stadium or something and you got multiple cameras, and again, you want to be able to just point this at the different, let's say, cameras that are out in the field or something, or in between the audience, and then you'll be able to use this and get nice crisp 4K signal. Now, the way that you use this antenna is pretty straightforward. You take actually one of the receivers, and it has a V-mount battery up here, like a dummy mount. So you would actually put it in here where you have a built-in V-mount battery, or if you buy the Anton Bauer battery, obviously you would have that battery mount. You just slide it on there, And then instead of actually using these standard antennas, you would take these antennas out and you connect little cables basically to the connections here on top of the array antenna. And then you would put your V-mount battery to power the receivers here. And because it's basically sending the signal, it means that both the receiver but also the array antenna is going to be powered off of one V-mount battery. And this is actually something that I really like, just overall about the design of this, is that if you don't care about it, you can get the version without the built-in battery plate. But I like this because even the transmitter has that already. Like, for example, again, I went with the V-mount because that's what I have on my cameras. So it's really cool because I can use this now to basically kind of put my transmitter, kind of sandwich it between my camera and the battery. Because again, I'm putting this on the back of my camera, and then on the back of the Teradek here, I'm gonna put my V-mount battery, and that one V-mount battery now is powering both the transmitter and my camera. And to be honest, for me, this was very helpful, because then when I'm working with a bigger cinema camera, it makes it easier to build a camera rig that's not overly big and complicated, so I can still move fairly fast with it and everything like that, because again, you're just adding literally the thickness of this transmitter to the kit. I don't have to add any extra arms or things like that to have to mount this somewhere. Now, obviously, if you're working with a smaller camera, like I, for example, use this with the Blackmagic Pocket 6K camera also, then you can still use it that way. It has a 1/4-20 mount here on the bottom. And then you can use, obviously, a magic arm or whatever it is that you want to use it to mount it to the camera or your tripod. And then, again, you can power it using the V-mount battery, which is what I did. But you could actually power it, using, for example, the LEMO connections. There's different ways that you can do this. And then, again, you can have a fairly small package that, again, gives you a reliable long-range 4K wireless video system. So now I'm going to do the lag test. So I've got this monitor connected directly to the camera through SDI, and also this transmitter here is connected through SDI. Here I have the receiver, and that's providing the video signal to this monitor, so you can kind of compare how it looks between this monitor and that monitor if there's any delay. And this is a test here. Now, getting back to the whole 4K thing, is it really worth it? Again, I personally think it is, because you're future-proofing yourself. So even, again, if maybe right now you can't afford a 4K production monitor, because I know they're very expensive, I'll let you guys know that those things can change very quickly. And actually, Small HD just announced 4K production monitors that are going to be a lot more affordable than those other options from Canon or Sony, for example. So again, you'd be surprised, but very quickly things can change where it's just going to become normal, I think, everyday occurrence when you're working on a production where you're going to want to monitor in 4K. So again, that's when buying a system like this is going to make sure that you can use that not just for the next few months, but the next few years down the line. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you guys want more information about the Bolt 4K, then as always, you can follow the links in the description of this video, or head on over to my website at tomantasfilms.com. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter so you stay up to date with all the latest gear reviews, filmmaking tutorials, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. My name is Tom Antas, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!